How many people do you know who struggle with their health? Chances are, whether they show it or not, most of the people in your life do. And chances are, you're one of them. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, depression, endometriosis, acne, eczema, autoimmune, thyroid, Lyme, brain fog, fatigue, or any other symptom or condition, you're far from alone. Living with symptoms has become the new normal. So no more guessing games. It's time to get answers. Welcome to the Medical Medium Podcast. I'm Anthony William. We're talking about the light blast. Have you experienced it? Over the decades, many people who found me have. And it started since I was a child. And Spirit of Compassion was teaching me how to use the light. The voice I heard, Spirit, would send light down to the baby bird I was holding, to the bunny rabbit with the injured leg, to the horse that was gravely ill, to the earthworm that was drying up on the ground, to the groundhog I saw one day that was hit by a car, and eventually to anyone that I saw I felt needed the light. I practiced using the light every day of my childhood, and there were two forms of light work I was practicing. One was Spirit of Compassion sending light down upon my head and through my body, and then it exiting out my hand. The other, working with Spirit of Compassion to direct the light to the crown of someone's head. Having that light come down from above and land on top of a person's head and then running all through the body. Spirit of Compassion and I worked together, and I worked hard. And I dedicated myself and held a responsibility to use this light for the purpose of helping others in need. When I was younger and I was growing up, I would send light down on people that were not even aware it was happening. They did not know I was doing it, using the gift. I was young, and I would see people, and I knew because Spirit of Compassion told me they were in pain. And I would ask Spirit if we can do a light blast. And Spirit would send down the light upon the person I would see. And many times, without them even knowing what I was doing, I would watch from afar. And I would see something change right when it happened. They would lift their head, or smile, or turn around, or look around them, because they felt something. And as a child, I knew I was helping. As I grew older, people would seek me out, and I would give them the light blast. I would ask Spirit to send the light. And that light was powerful and healing then, and it's just as powerful and healing now. And as the years have gone by, decades later, many have experienced the light blast that Spirit of Compassion and I have given.
So receiving a light blast is a really beautiful experience to me because, one, you're in the presence of Anthony William, who I believe, and I view Anthony William as a saint. He's a living saint. And his level of compassion and service and his mediumship is, it's unprecedented, it's unparalleled. And so you're in the presence of Anthony William and you're hearing his message, which also comes from Spirit, which is special, that's a gift. And when he takes you onto a light blast, he prepares you. And the process is you hold your breath and he says light, 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 light. And when he says light, that is when Spirit is sending the light down upon the recipients. And so the energy comes in through your head and you're holding your breath and you focus where you want the light to go. I think if you don't focus, you will get benefit, but I think it's more powerful. The power of human consciousness, I think, is something that's quite profound. So our consciousness takes the light and focuses it where we need it to go. And so this is happening very quick. A light blast happens in seconds, but he'll do a succession until Spirit tells him that everyone is clear. And so there's so much happening. It's pushing out negative energy, or who knows? We need the spiritual information to come out to fully understand how it operates. But what happens is you're holding your light breath, the light comes in, and then you release, you breathe. So that happens several times. But when the light comes in, you feel it's like a euphoria. It's the best natural high, I think, that you can have. And it really, I'm a very sensitive person, and so I don't know if everyone feels what I feel, but for me personally, I feel high after. I feel the energy, I feel like my vibration it's clear, it's bright, and it's a beautiful feeling. And it stays with you. And so I feel that in my interactions with people, it's a deeper connection with everyone I talk to after having a light blast. And even people who have no spiritual inclinations, they are more, like, I feel like they can feel the light. It's not me, it's the light coming through me. It's how the human vessel carries the light, as we all do, and we have more of it from the light blasts. And so my experiences with people are more beautiful and deeper after a light blast. And that, to me, is priceless. I want light blasts for everyone all the time, and go out there in the world and shine your light. I came from Canada for Light Blast. This past year, I've been focused on my health. I was very unwell. I was living with mold in my house for several years until I figured out what the problem was. But also, through work, COVID vaccines were mandated, so my third shot made me very sick. I had a vaccine injury, and I was living with mold, so as you can imagine, I was not well. I had to stop working and take time off, but even though my health was so horrific, and I was going through some personal hardships in my life as well, it was actually quite severe that those two things were happening at the same time. I lost my livelihood because I couldn't work, but I knew I had medical medium protocols. I knew they worked, and I knew that I'd be okay. So in June, I was still quite unwell, and like really just unable to focus, like the worst brain fog that you could imagine. I could not concentrate on anything. I was living with pure instinct. I couldn't function. But by the grace of God, I was able to ride my motorcycle from Canada to LA, and I attended the first medical medium book signing. And during that book signing, there was a light blast. And that light blast was incredible. So I was living my life with all of this brain fog, vaccine injury, mold poisoning, but I also had intense abdominal pain. It felt like I had razors in my gut 24/7, and it had been months and months and months. And medically, they didn't know how to help me. Like nothing was helping. And I was, it was very, very acute. And so I just got on my motorcycle, rode down to LA, showed up in Culver City at that amazing book signing with thousands and thousands of people. And AW gave a few light blasts. And with the first light blast, immediately, the pain just went away. I focused the light blast on where I was experiencing the pain, and it went away, and it's never come back. Like, it was just a spontaneous healing. Like, that was just incredible. And who knows how long that, like, I believe I would have healed my gut doing the celery juice and the cleansing. But to have it, like, the energy come in and just push that out is really, like, it's priceless to me. And then the Calabasas light blasts, those were beautiful. That really helped accelerate the healing and brought a little bit more clarity into my life, because I was on the journey of extreme brain fog. And so like every time I feel like I have a light blast, the healing just accelerates. It takes it quantum. It's not just a physical, like, it does heal the physical, but it heals the emotional, the energetic, the soul.
The light blast, as always, is absolutely amazing. Having gone through it now in person twice, I was prepared for this one, and I literally just sat became still and absorbed all of that energy. As I mentioned, just being in his presence feels really good. So I let it just wash over me. And then as he does the blast, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger until at the end, I was vibrating. I was like, oh no, people are going to see me. And I'll do that in meditation when I raise vibration, and it feels so good. And you come out of the light blast with nothing but love. And that's what we all really want to get to. And, with all the stuff I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just here in love, right? I just want to stay in this bubble of love and light and continue to give that to people. So yeah, it's absolutely delicious. I didn't see the light, but I felt the energy. And so I can first feel the energy radiating in my heart as he's preparing us. And then I felt the energy kind of swirl up my spine and just permeate all of my essence. And so, yeah, it feels really yummy. I liked his lesson on, that the light was going to help heal our soul, because that was something that I had actually was working on today of all days. And so for him to say that specifically, I thought was pretty powerful. So yeah, I'm really anxious for the residual effects.
And then did you experience any kind of sensations in your body, any tingling or anything as you were experiencing the light blast?
Definitely. So I started shaking, shaking from the intensity of the energy coming through me. I can feel it kind of almost like a tuning fork. I was hoping nobody was watching. So I'm like, I hope everybody's eyes are closed. Yeah.
Were you one of the people who had a blockage? Did you feel like light was having a difficult time moving through, or did it feel like it kind of moved through you pretty easily?
No, I don't feel like I had a blockage at all. I feel like it went right through, and all I was focused on was just harnessing that energy. And then, like I said, I want to keep it. I didn't do this when I was with him in Calabasas. It was the first time, but this time I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and absorb it, and then learn the lessons from the light blast or whatever, or kind of just let it just marinate, I guess, and see what comes up. So it'll probably be one of those things as I'm driving home and tomorrow that continues to unfold, and more will be revealed.
I mean, it's like you get giddy. Like that's like, even last night I flew in yesterday, I was able to come, I just hung out on the sidewalk and caught the light blast because I was staying really close. And I was tired, I had been on a 15-hour flight, and so like right after all this energy came, I felt lighter. I was like laughing with people, and it literally lifts your spirits, like in like a physical sense. And at the Calabasas event, after all of those light blasts, a group of us went back to Airbnb, and we were just like laughing like kids, and just like we had so much joy. And it was like all this weight or any stress, it was just melted away completely. And it just feels like it just lifts any heaviness and really just allows you to kind of connect to that lightness that we all have that gets kind of bogged down by just life. And so, yeah. And then over time, Anthony's talked about how the effects of the light blast play out over time, and I've definitely experienced that. Things that I've been hoping to shift in my life since the Calabasas event have really, truly shifted. Patterns I had of sort of self-limitation, self-deprecation, doubting myself, I've really stepped into a level of like confidence and faith that I think I sometimes reached for but couldn't always achieve. So it's been really beautiful. It really is like the gifts that you get when you come close to this information and stay with it over time, they just continue to grow and deepen. And I just feel fortunate to be part of it.
And Lauren, I know because you've experienced past medical medium events, you've gotten light blasts before. What were those light blast experiences like for you?
Revolutionary. And she's less spiritual, so I said to her some light, she's like, whatever, I'm getting blasted or whatever it is. I'm excited for her to experience that. And I think she's a huge testament to people who bring in medical medium at different walks of life for different reasons. And it's okay to start small. It's okay to, as you have always said, integrate this into your lifestyle that may not be perfectly medical medium. It's okay to start small and just do a few things, And that's what I love. about her. She's slowly over time making it a part of her life in a way that's accessible to a lot of people.
The first one was in Calabasas, and I was so excited to be a part of it because I knew that he had done those many years ago. And I thought, gosh, if there was ever an opportunity to do a light blast, that would be amazing. And so when he was going to offer that, I was over the moon. And I just found that with that initial light blast, it seems like nothing could get to me because I just had this grounded, calm feeling. Like it's I don't know, it's just very grounding and healing, and you can be very intentional of where you want to move the energy, and I love that he directs us in that manner. And then again here, being able to experience it again, I realized that there was like a lot of footage of me just bawling at the table. So I did have a big emotional release here in October. I couldn't help but to cry, but how beautiful, I felt emotionally cleansed when I left. So we'll see what comes up tonight. I don't know if I'm going to have an emotional release or not, but I'll definitely receive the beautiful healing benefits of the light blast, and really looking forward to it.
Well, my first light blast was actually the one online about 2.5 years ago when I was struggling with vertigo and kind of a post-C neurological symptoms. And it made a great shift. So I was getting less irritated, and I was not getting so much nauseated in the elevators and stuff like that. Then the second light blast I received was in Culver City at a book signing. At that time, when the light blast was being done, my leg was hurting. I have varicose veins right above my ankle, and it was in a really annoying pain. And as the light was coming down through my body, once it hit the leg, the pain disappeared, and I had no pain for 6 weeks in a row. It kind of creeped in a little bit, but it was never so strong as it was before the light blast. And the third light blast, it was in Calabasas. And I returned to the party at 4 o'clock, thinking it still goes on, but it was actually over, and Anthony already had said goodbye. And I walked in with another lady, and I'm not sure how many more, maybe a handful of people walked inside after us. And Anthony came back on the stage, and he says, Spirit said there is more new people who just came in. We're going to do another light blast. I'm like, thank you, God. So at that time, I was not there to receive the light blast for myself. I wanted to channel it to my mom, who was struggling with a tumor in her spine. And she was in pain since April, and now the Calabasas, that was September. And she was always in pain at nighttime. She wouldn't be able to turn around, accommodate herself in the bed. She was sore just to move. And if she had to go to the bathroom, many of the times she was just crawling to go to the bathroom. And so the light blast happened, and I was channeling it to my mom. And next morning in a hotel room, I received a phone call 5 a.m. My mom is calling me, last night I had no pain. So that was what made me to convince my mother to come to States, stayed with me for 3 months, and we worked on the brain saver protocol from the brain saver for the brain cysts and tumors. She's actually back to work. She's 72.
We were waiting for tonight, and especially my wife, and we really enjoy it. It's the first time that we did this kind. First time, yes. I felt some of the lights went through my foot. I felt like some veins were moving around, and I didn't feel any pain for about 5-10 minutes. I really felt it. I have some on my left foot. I get some pain and stuff. But this, I felt like blood was, going through the vein, like a good energy passed through it.
The most impactful one that I had was January 5th. It was an online event. And I was laying down on the sofa, and it was the day before my birthday. And I felt it, and it was my first experience. I had no idea what I was going to experience. But the next day when I got up, I was going on a hike with a friend. I opened the front door and I looked outside, and I felt like I was looking through 3D glasses. Something had changed in my vision. Like it was more, like it was acute, like it was sharp, like there was like an extra depth that wasn't there before. And I was just in awe, because like, is this real? I mean, you know, because when I went on the hike with my friend, I'm just looking around because everything looked different, just like I said, sharper.
Our family dog of 12 years passed away, and right before the event. So during the light blast, I had really asked for healing around grief around that, and for guidance around the perfect dog and the perfect timing around us getting our new dog. And we thought we were going to wait months, and then literally within 2 weeks we found the perfect dog. And he has been an dog since the day we brought him home, and it's just a constant reminder that the angels are just hearing us and guiding us, because he literally goes after the celery juice pulp, the celery juice, when I do cilantro shots or parsley shots, he's just like, his head is in, like, you know, I have to watch when I wash, you know, all our produce and our celery and the cilantros and the parsleys and the herbs, because I just turn my head and he's just like, he's eating it all. Cucumbers, like he's just a funny dog. But like, I've never had a dog or seen a dog who just has gone after such healing foods. So, but the light blasts are extremely healing. And I often find myself receiving healing for things that I may not have intentionally asked for. So during the book signing, I remember just closing my eyes and being like, heal this in my body, heal that. And all of a sudden this little voice said to me, this is where you need to leave your eating disorders. I've also had an eating disorder since I was 15, so for over 20 years. I was like, that's really strange. And it was like, this voice was like, leave it here, it's done. And I can't tell you the freedom and the level of healing that I've experienced in my recovery, that after 15, 20 years of therapy, and again, trying everything that I could possibly have done and tried, just like naturally, without even being like, oh, my goal for this week is to try a fear food or whatever. All of a sudden, I'm eating dinners with my family, where before I would always eat something separate, and it didn't even feel like I had to try. And I know that healing came from the light blast. So it's transformed my life again in ways that I could have never imagined possible. And so that warrants all the gratitude in the world to Anthony.
And I found a medical medium through, having life challenges through divorce and addictions and anxiety and depression, mental health problems, and then physical, neurological problems. And so with the light blast, I really directed it at areas in my spine and neck and then my whole body. And I just felt it just surrounding me and then entering into my spine and then and really lightening my whole body and then freeing up some pain and some arthritis and then also at my kids and the mother of my kids, even while I go through this divorce, to just free the confrontation, which has been part of stopping some of my healing journey as well, and just a lightness and a feeling of lightness. Yeah. So a lot more calmness about myself. I feel more like love. Yeah, love and connection and calmness. Yeah, so I have some blockage probably like in my neck and in areas in my spine, and I feel like it did just shoot through all that, and I feel like through the medical medium, in connection with his light blast, his meditations, in connection with the stars of the moon and the actual universe, the light, that, the visual of it is just coming down through my whole body. It's really helping heal my soul and my body together. So yeah, soul, spirit.
Oh, why did I come here tonight? Well, I've gone to a few of the events from Anthony. And at the very first one, I had so much swelling on the left side of my body that my left foot was swollen and I couldn't wear shoes. I could only walk in flip-flops. And when I took them off, the strap shape was, formed into my foot. And I went to the light blast, and afterwards the swelling went down. I'm wearing shoes tonight. Like, I'm walking again easier. It's just, if it could do that, what else can it do? So I'm here for all of them that I can come to, and I'm just really grateful. Oh, the light blast journey, for someone who hasn't heard of it. Well, it helps you to feel lighter, but I can't speak for others, but I can speak for what it did for me. And it helped to reframe my life. It helped to take the edge off, like where I had anxiety. It can just feel lighter, and it can just ease up what's going on in life that's really stressful. For me, it helped to reframe my life. Like when I would go into a stressful situation after that, it was like the edge was off of it, the stress was off of it. It was just, there was more peace around it. And so, I don't know, life was just easier afterwards. Darkness was gone. It was very peaceful. I was in a wheelchair when I first started, and my lips were blue and I could barely breathe. And I turned on the TV and he was on a podcast. There's just so much in my life that's improved, but the biggest thing is the darkness lifted. And I'm here. I'm here, and I have compassion. And my face broke out after I bought the tickets, and it scabbed over, and it was just horrific looking. And I was like, I have faith. I'm going. This light blast that's going to clear my faith, just like it got me out of a wheelchair, just like it brought compassion back. Like, these are tears of joy because I have so much faith now, and I didn't. And darkness took my life for 50 years. Ruined all my relationships, and that's why I'm here, for the compassion.
Are you looking forward to experiencing the light blast?
I'm so excited, yes. I've experienced it with the previous ones, but obviously not in person or online. I've watched them all. And then usually it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in South Africa. So I would just not sleep that night. It's so worth it though. Yeah. And when he did it last time, he said you can divert some of the light to someone else. My son was sick with whooping cough at the time, so he was struggling to breathe. So he was like, like wheezing. So I diverted the light to him. And within like a few seconds, his breathing just went normal. Like the tightness, it just went away. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. Yeah.
That is remarkable.
Sleeping, I just heard that because he's sleeping with me in my bed. He's 3. So yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and you found it inspiring. The healing stories are truly profound. I have the deepest respect for anyone who found the medical medium information because I know their journey most likely hasn't been easy. They've traveled far on their journey. They've had experiences with their chronic illness that very few would ever understand, and their eyes can see because they've seen it all. It's hard to heal when answers are far and few, and it's hard to get better when you don't know why you're sick. People with chronic illness should get an award. It takes courage. It takes strength. It takes faith. It takes hope. It takes something deep inside that others who haven't experienced it don't have. You have the ability to heal, but you already know this. You just gotta hang in there for the ride. You're finding your way. You're pushing through the darkness. Nothing can hold you back. You're going to heal. That's a fact. And when you're better and when you're healed, you're going to look back and you're going to see your past. You're going to take a big, deep breath. You're going to remember what you healed. You're going to remember what you've gone through. And you're going to know how far you came. And you're going to feel you're not the same. And you know that you were never to blame. I hope someday you experience medical medium light blast and you get that chance to feel the light from above heal parts of you fast. It clears the air. It sets a new frequency. It moves out negativity. It stops a toxic thought. It knocks out an energy block. It changes the course of rogue electricity, and it quickly removes an entity. The light enters a place where there is a problem and helps to restore areas that are compromised. The light comes from above. Light, light, light.
Original published medical medium information gets stolen and poached by podcast doctors, social media doctors, influencers, and medical clinics. Medical medium information has never yet been proven wrong by medical science and research. Instead, the opposite, only proven right and then taken from medical medium published material and used in the conventional and alternative health communities. Medical medium information continually sets the stage for medical science to understand chronic illness better. If you choose to share or use the original, unique content from the Medical Medium podcast, books, or Medical Medium social media, please cite where this information comes from, so others who see and learn of this information have a chance to know where it all originates, to give them an opportunity to heal, so they don't end up losing years of their life searching for answers like so many have before them. The Medical Medium information here on this podcast doesn't come from broken science, interest groups, medical funding with strings attached, botched research, lobbyists, internal kickbacks, persuaded belief systems, private panels of influencers, health field payoffs, trendy traps, or gathered bits and pieces of gimmicky confusion. Because chronic illness is exploding like never before in our modern day history, it takes a greater force than us down here. It takes a helping hand from above. Medical medium information has street cred. It's an organic movement of countless people around the world healing. More healing stories of real people not being paid to tell their life-changing experiences of rising out of the ashes of sickness and entering into the light of full recovery, getting their lives back and finally healing when nothing else in the world of health could move the needle and get them better. The information on this podcast is not man-made. It comes from above, from a higher source. Whatever you believe in, whether God, the universe, the light, or the creator, or if you believe in nothing at all, that we're just floating through space together on this rock. Know that the information you hear on this podcast is separate from all the other noise out there. It comes from a different place, a pure, untampered with, advanced, clean, uncorrupted, original, primary source, a higher source, spirit of compassion.